But so where did gratitude-based leadership come in? Where did this all come in? So I left my strategy consulting work to start a new business around helping people make change. And my friend asked me, what would happen if you led with love instead of fear? So maybe that's not something you're expecting to hear on this call, but that was the question they asked. And it totally uprooted the way I was viewing problem solving at the time. Because the way I looked at the world, like even myself, right? My self-talk to myself was pretty diabolical. Like I would never talk to another human the way I talked to myself. It was nothing is ever good enough. I would see holes everywhere, and it was my job to fix all these problems. And so the way I talked to people, the way I talked to myself was about, hey, let's make things better. It all came from a good place. Like I'm trying to do good, but inadvertently, I didn't realize it was putting myself and other people in this fight or flight response. It was creating more inflammation in myself, more inflammation in my team. And so we ended up working with high school students actually that helped us look at problem solving a different way, which is instead of looking at problems everywhere and how can we solve all these problems, let's look at what's amazing at what exists today, and let's start to build relationships with genuine gratitude and curiosity. If we can see the positive ripple effects of what exists today, how does that change the way that we look at situations, we look at teammates, we look at people, we look at ourselves, and how do we build a relationship through that lens? And so we've applied gratitude-based learning actually in a variety of different environments with high school students, college students, with companies in 6 continents around the world. And so it was actually last year, Drew, you didn't know this, but you're part of the start of Honora Sports. So some of the conversations I was having with our teammates in Utica, which is where the Box World Championships were happening, I was doing some of the stuff with some guys, and we went from the beginning of the tournament, like there was some blow-ups on the sidelines or on the bench. There was just like some friction, to put it lightly. And working with some guys outside of that, like visibly was able to see that change. And some of the guys were like, Fish, do you do this stuff with athletes? I was like, no, like you should, like you absolutely should. And so started talking with coaches around the country, high school and college, first to learn, like, what do they do? Like, what do you guys do today? Do you bring in people? What do you do for the leadership, communication, culture building, mental health? Like, what do you guys do? And so rather than creating something that is already existing, we wanted to add value. And so we ended up modifying our program that we've done for the last however many years with companies, places all over the world, and did it for sports. And so we had the captains at Yale, Dartmouth, leaders at Williams. We had 20 college and 22 high school athletes go through our program this past spring. And I can share more about it, like what does this actually look like? But it would, let's just say, transformational of how we lead differently. And so just as an example, I'm able to know right now of like, how is someone leading from this more grounded way of leadership by the way they respond to setbacks? So do they yell at the refs? Does their nervous system get dysregulated when like something doesn't go their way? And what we train in the program is how do we essentially calm our nervous system so that we're able to listen and learn with love so that we can lead with love. That doesn't mean like anything goes. I'm still holding my teammates accountable. I'm still having tough conversations. I'm still making decisions as a leader. But I'm doing it from a more regulated place rather than an inflamed place. And I'm able to figure out what's actually needed on this team rather than me just having my own ideas. And so I use an example of he just scored his first pro goal. They're going to the PLL championship. So he was the captain at Yale last year, Max Krebsky. He's the only captain, one of 18 seniors, the only captain on the team. And so they are on a five-game losing streak. They start top 10 in the country, 5-game losing streak. What do you do as a leader? Like, is it some big pump up speed? Like literally, what do you do? How do you do it? And so rather than having this model of like, oh my gosh, the team's on my back, I have to solve every problem because I now have the title of leader. And we'll talk about what does it look like when you don't have that formal title, right, of captain. But how do you be grateful that of what exists? So looking at, well, you have other seniors. What does the current leadership structure look like? What do the relationships look like? What has been done in the past that worked? And we're able, through some of the frameworks we'll teach in the program, able to help Max get to like very clear, confident answers of like, oh, wow, this is the next step for me to take as a leader. And it's not me doing every single thing myself. And so we're able to help him get to clarity of like literally what does he do when they're on a 5-game losing streak? They're dropped out of the top 25. And how does he now empower his other captains, or not his other captains, his other seniors? And how does he use the existing network within their team to create a structure of leadership that works? And they turned it around, made the Ivy League tournament. Unfortunately beat Dartmouth, but so it is. But what does it look like when you're not the quote captain, when you don't, like Charlie, you said, like when you don't have that, you're not on the field there. And so he was a top NESCAC player who in the program, and two things happened. One, that feeling of like you care more than your teammates. Like you're doing all this extra work, this stuff, but like the other guys just aren't. It's very tempting to be like, guys, let's go, come on, like, and just get on people. And what we helped him with is, well, how do you strategically build relationships with players? Because if you want to be able to use your voice, you need to learn how to meet people where they're at. If you want to help people move along with you, you just yelling at people, like you might be totally missing the mark, which was the case. Like was when he actually started talking with his teammates and learning how to use GBL to do it, it opened the door of a better relationship and was able to better motivate his teammates. But then personally, what happened too was he lost his spot without getting told why. A freshman is playing instead of him. And so how does he now approach those conversations with his coach? And he can lead with fear. He can be like, why are you doing this? Da, da, da. But if he wants there to be a relationship that works, that they're getting authentic information, so like that they're both able to really share what's going on, and they're able to have an even better relationship, even better team because of it, he needed to approach that conversation in a strategic way. And so that's what we were able to help him with.